What is going on, family? So we at work right now, and I'm actually done already. So I was like, you know what? Why not go ahead and make my video? It is what it is. Hey, we changed the scenery. We got the K9 in the back. Nah, for real. I work for a place called Congo, and we sell Prime. Of course, as you can see, my hat's faded because I sweat bleach and Alani. But yeah. So, anyways, we are on day 31 with 75 hard. We are on day 40 with Jesus and day 40 to freedom, bro. Come on, let's go. Let me confirm that though, because I realistically, if it's wrong, it's wrong, but I feel like I'm right on that one. 31 with 75 hard, and then day 40 with Jesus and day 40 to freedom. Anyways, check this out. So there was something in here that me and my wife literally, okay, let me see, me and my wife literally, okay, here it is. Luke 10, 30 through 37. And the reason why I'm going over this because I got a thing that I would like to, share. So I was reading this one. It's the parables of the good Samaritan. My bad. Jesus replied with a story. A Jewish man was traveling from Jerusalem down to Jericho, and he was attacked by bandits. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him up, and left him half dead beside the road. By chance, a priest came along, but when he saw the man lying there, he crossed to the other side of the road and passed by him. A temple assistant walked over and looked at him lying there, but he also passed by on the other side. Then a despised man, Samaritan. I'm sorry, Samaritan, despised Samaritan, came along, and when he saw the man, he felt compassion for him. Going over to him, the Samaritan soothed his wounds with olive oil and wine. That threw me off a little bit, but I mean, if it works, it works. But that one, and bandaged him. Anyways, I'm not gonna get sidetracked. Then he put the man on his own donkey and took him to an inn where they took care of him. The next day, he handed the innkeeper 2 silver coins, telling him, "Take care of this man. If his bill runs higher than this, I'll pay you the next time I'm here." Now, which of these 3 would you say was a neighbor to the man who was attacked by bandits? Jesus asked. The man replied, "The one who showed him mercy." Then Jesus said, "Yes, now go and do the same." What got me was at the end, I should have read this one first. So what started this was the most important commandment. One day an expert in religious law stood up to test Jesus by asking him this question: "Teacher, what should I do to inherit eternal life?" Jesus replied, "What does the law of Moses say? How do you read it?" The man answered, You must love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your heart, all your soul, all your strength, and all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself." "Right," Jesus told him. "Do this and you will live." The man wanted to justify his actions, so he asked Jesus, "And who is my neighbor?" What I just read to you, he gets to the end and says, "Now which of these 3 would you say was a neighbor to the man who was attacked by bandits?" Jesus asked the one who showed him mercy. And Jesus said, "Yes, now go do the same." So basically, at the end, what it said, despise, my gosh, bro. Sarah, I don't know why this word is so hard and tricky for me to say. Samaritan came along, and when he saw the man, he felt compassion for him. Going over to him, the Samaritan soothed his wounds with olive oil and wine and bandaged them. Then he put the man on his own donkey and took him to an inn where he took care of him. The next day, he handed the innkeeper 2 silver coins, telling him, take care of this man. If the bill runs higher than this, I'll pay you the next time I'm here. What's so crazy is whenever I saw the story, I was in the gym reading. As I was reading, I would do a set, I'd read, I'd do a set, I'd read, right? As soon as I read this one, I'm not even tripping when I said this. As soon as I read this one, I looked over at my wife and I said, we failed. And she said, what? I was like, we failed. And she's like, oh man, what do you mean? I was like, come here, I'm gonna tell you, we failed. And she come over, I was like, we failed Jesus. And she was like, what do you mean we failed? I was like, we failed Jesus. Literally, we failed him. And she's like, what? So I read her what I just read to you guys. And I was like, what situation have we been in to where we, like, what does this remind you of? Like, what comes to thought? Boom, what comes to thought whenever we read it? She was sitting thinking. And nothing came, like, she's like, I don't know. She's like, did it happen? I was like, it happened literally like maybe 2 weeks ago, two and a half weeks ago. And she was like, I have no idea. Like, I don't think I know. So, of course, you guys don't know, but what it was we went walking one morning for the 75 Harley. We woke up right before work. And as we woke up right before work, we went walking and everything. And we literally cut this corner and we was walking up, because we'll walk up this subdivision that eventually ends in a cul-de-sac, and we'll come back down, just to get more steps in and kind of, like I say, basically get the distance in as well as the time in. So we kind of go on like a little detour, go through a cul-de-sac, come back down, whatever. As we was going, we noticed this Ford Explorer pulls over and this girl gets out. The Ford Explorer drives off. The girl's like crying, right? Like crying. She gets on the phone and she's talking clear as day. You can hear her. Plus it's 3 o'clock in the morning. 3 o'clock in the morning for one, but it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Nobody can hear, nobody's out. You can hear everything. And she's just crying, and she calls someone and she's like, can you come pick me up? I got jumped. Can you come pick me up? I got jumped. Boom. And then I guess whoever she was talking to, they would come pick her up. She gets on the phone and she just starts crying even louder and crying. And instead of being a good Samaritan, we kept walking. We kept walking, as well as started to judge of why would you be out at 3 o'clock in the morning at the park? Because she said she got jumped at the park. So we kept walking, and we ignored it. And as soon as I told my wife that, she was just like, she said, when she went and lay down, she said, I went and lay down. She said, I prayed to God and I apologized. I said, yeah, me too. Me too. Because we had all ability to be a good Samaritan and, or a good person and help her, or just ask her if she was okay. Because by the time we walked up the cul-de-sac and came back around, which was, I'll remind you, maybe not even, I don't even know. It probably wasn't even 2 football fields, maybe. So, yeah, if that, 2 football fields, maybe the whole thing, I would say, if a little bit over, maybe. She was already gone. Before we got back on the opposite side, she was already gone. But what's so crazy is I was already trying to think, how can I, dodge, being on the side that she was on. And it's just it just threw me in a thought, bro, that I was just like, why? Why did I do that? And then I was that's the first thing I popped to. But I was so upset with myself. Why did I do that? I'm so upset with myself. That's so wrong of me. So immature. And it was just one of those moments where I was like, man, you know what I'm saying? I don't really know what to do, but all that it would have took would be to just stop and say, hey, are you okay? Is there anything I can help you with? And we didn't do that. And I felt so horrible and feel so horrible now, but I know God would want me to feel horrible. And I also apologized and said, forgive me for, not showing this lady love, not showing this lady support, and being a neighbor, basically. I think, if I understood that correctly. But it truly had me looking at something completely different right off the rip, man. And that's how I know that God's that's how I know he's trying to mold me, as well as trying to open up a lot as far as my heart and everything else. For my mind to just jump straight to that, it was like, like, he's on me. He is heavily he's on me, bro. And I love it. You know what I'm saying? Because I need to realize these things. I need to realize my faults and my wrongs. And I need to realize things that I need to do more of, because the thing that gets me the most is like, I should have done right by him. I should have walked over. We should have walked over. And we should have made sure she was good. You know what I'm saying? Because say I would have dodged her. Say broken rib, something go wrong, boom. Lady found, passed out on the news type deal, It could have been anything, man. It's got me looking at things a lot differently, though. That's for sure. That room right there it's got me looking at things a lot different. But yeah, I wanted to share that just for the fact of like, it was just something that hit, and I felt like I just wanted to share my story that had to relate with that section in the book or in the Bible. Love thy neighbor like who thou loves thyself. It still has me thinking, like, man. But yeah, I wanted to share that with you guys. And as I just had main focus on it too, I just wanted to just put it out there, and just for what it's worth, just because it's like, I know God doesn't think this, but for the fact that I didn't do what I need to do for that lady, or step in and be a good person, you know what I'm saying? I try to dodge it. It's like, it hits me different, because that's not what I should have done. But I know that now, and we're gonna get better, because we're growing with him and he's growing in us. So you guys already know. But yeah, I'm probably gonna head back in to the warehouse shortly, because I'm done. But I want to get on here and tell you guys about that one, as well as do my duties and make sure I stay consistent with this. But outside of that, guys, you already know what it's gonna be. As always, it's peace, love, and happiness. Big faith.